That's fine.
I'll do it.
Good morning. We want to welcome you to this meeting of the Drainage District Board of Directors for today, January the 6th, 2015. Present are Commissioner Cuellar, Precinct 1, Commissioner Cantu, Precinct 2, Commissioner Palacios, Precinct 4, and myself. We have a quorum. Under open forum, did anybody sign up?
No, sir.
Well, before we begin, we want to make sure we acknowledge the presence of our newly elected commissioner from Precinct 2, new member of the Board of Directors of the Drainage District, Mr. Eddie Cantu. Eddie, welcome, sir. All right, sir, our consent agenda.
We have no concerns on the consent agenda.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item number 4.
I'll direct that to Mr. Valdeguerra.
Judge, item number 4 is the approval of the elected officials bond for Ms. Norma Garcia as the county treasurer on behalf of the Drainage District. This is the item we had on on December of last year. This is the item that needed to be on the Drainage District side. So if I
Everything in
could-
order?
Yes, sir, everything is in
Move for
order.
approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item number 5.
Under item number 5, Judge, I'll read them, and any question, I'll direct them to Mr. Steve Crane on them. Under item 5, do you want to explain them first, Mr. Crane?
Thank you, Mr. Garza. Item 5 was put on there by our delinquent tax attorneys. These two sections of the code have been approved earlier, a number of years ago, and the delinquent tax attorneys would just like to have this approved again. It doesn't increase any penalties, it just puts this matter in place and recognizes that we've already approved these before,
Move for approval. Second.
A and B.
Of A and B.
Do I need to read them, Mr. Crane?
If you'd like to.
Judge?
I'm not sure exactly what are we trying to do? Authorize them to charge a 15%?
I'll
Or
divert to Mr. Crane.
Lucy, you want to come on up and you can explain it?
These are sections 3307, 3308, and 3311 of the Texas Property Tax Code that allows for the imposition of the attorney's fees at 15%. And that's the resolution that had been passed in prior years, but we'd like to pass it every so many years and bring it to the Commissioner's Court for approval.
All right. We have a motion and a second, I believe, to
Yes.
approve. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimously. Do we follow up with B?
Yes, sir.
Is it different, or is it this?
I divert to Mr. Crane on if there's two.
Again, Judge, it's just a different section of the property code for a different penalty.
All right.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 6.
Item 6A, presentation discussions is related to the Peñitas Pump House rehabilitation in FEMA. Board members, we went and met with FEMA in Denton, Mr. Rusty McDaniels and Mr. Richard Seitz from Dannenbaum, middle part of December. And for the record, we wanted to have an item up here, and I'll have Mr. Rusty McDaniels and Richard Seitz step up in a minute. We presented the issues of the Peñitas Pump House, the rehabilitation. Part of the objective was to make sure that we were going to be able to rehab the pump house or whatever needed to be done with a section of the levee in order for it to get certified for the completion of the levee system that we've got there. It was a favorable meeting. They gave us direction on what they wanted us to do, what we could do. And the item is going to be delivered into 3 different options. Dannenbaum is going to work 3 different construction cost scenarios to reconstruct that segment of the levee and present those costs to the board so the board can give it direction on which way to proceed or not to proceed. But I did want Rusty McDaniel and Richard Stites to come on up here and give you their words, what they heard from FEMA up there at the meeting. Mr. Rusty McDaniel is a director for Hidalgo County Irrigation District Number 1, and Richard Stites, the program manager for Dannenbaum Engineering. Rusty?
I, after the meeting in December, went to my board, took it to our next board meeting.
I explained what FEMA had told us, and we had some real good discussions amongst ourselves while we were up there together and everything. And my board is in agreement with taking a good look at all the options here and just seeing what will work for the county and for the district. And I think we're behind it, behind this option.
As already has been said, I'm Richard Seitz with Danabum Engineering. As already has been said, we had a very good meeting with FEMA up there. Essentially what they said is that as long as we followed good engineering practice in the design that we came up with, that they were willing to approve that, subject to their review. They rely on the
Can you
engineers.
get closer to that mic, Richard?
They rely on the engineer's design for the structure itself, and subject to that review, a cursory review of that, they would approve the certification. The three alternatives that we're talking about at this time would be one where we reconstruct the existing pump house at a different location, right in the immediate area, but slightly higher, and fill in the old pump house there to make that part of the levee. The second alternative would be to put a series of what they call soldier piles, which are just concrete piles that you cast in place to run along the front of the pump house and provide the protection for the pump house that way. The third was a sheet pile alternative using a steel sheet pile. This would, once we run the cost analysis on that, then we can make a determination which way we'd like to go or which way the board would like to go. Should be considerably cheaper than the $500,000 we would spend to analyze the existing structure and then go forward from that point. So it's I think, a worthwhile project for us to go ahead and do this analysis right now and go from there. Thank you.
I know that one of the meetings we were at, it was explained that there were two options. One is that big wall just being built right across, and the other one was to make the pump house part of the levee system. Which one are we proceeding on?
We're proceeding with making the pump house part of the levee system and not building the additional concrete wall that had originally been laid out in there. What we're looking at, or what the engineers are going to evaluate, is three different types of construction costs. As Mr. Seitz mentioned, the soldier pilings, which are basically pilings made out of concrete in front to protect the whole structure. The other option is putting sheet piling in front of it to protect the structure. And one of the other options is just filling in the structure that's there and turning it into dirt and pulling the whole pumps and putting them on top of the levee to get them out of harm's way completely. So they're going to run a cost analysis in all three scenarios to see which is the most cost effective. And we felt that was better to do than to spend the $500,000 evaluating the structure. That would just evaluate the structure.
Yes.
So that is the direction we're going to be proceeding with. And Danabum will submit a work authorization for the board's consideration to do the cost analysis for those three different options.
All right, sir. Okay. Any questions? Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Ms. Sykes. Thank you, Rusty.
Item 7,
Item 6B, sir.
6B, sorry.
Discussion and direction in relation to existing drainage issue at Acosta subdivision. As I mentioned to the board earlier, Commissioner Joe Flores has a development on 107 and west of Sherry Road where we've got an enormous amount of groundwater that has been bubbling up and flooding the area there. We did some analysis on the water quality. It doesn't seem that it's contaminated, but it continues flowing up. We are going to be moving forward and doing some borings to try to establish how big that water aquifer is. In the interim, Commissioner Flores is continuing pumping the water to keep the water level down as much as possible. And he's going to start working with TxDOT on the improvements of Sherry Road, or trying to do some partnership of putting a permanent drain line from the area, if we can partner with them to move it down and tie into the Sherry Road project. But that's probably 2 years down the road. We have been evaluating of possibly running a direct line from the Acosta development all the way down to our drain ditch, which is about maybe about a mile and a half down. and the costs are running into the $1.5 million, $2 million. So we're continuing evaluating the situation for Commissioner Flores, and he is staying on top of it, trying to address the current issues that are happening there. But it appears that with all the rain that we've had in our area, there's a lot of low-lying areas that water is starting to filter up and coming to the top. And we've been dry for so many years that I think all of the shallow aquifers are starting to get refilled in areas that didn't have any problem with water are now starting to surface up again. So we'll probably be seeing more of this throughout the county in different areas.
Any questions? All right.
No action on it, just for discussion and presentation to the board, sir. May I proceed with item 7?
Go ahead, sir.
Item 7, discussion and approval, acceptance of counteroffer that relates to J09 Drainage Project Land Acquisition Parcel 60. This was presented to the board last year. We brought it back for formal action. This is a 4.55 acre tract of land on J09 with an offer of $91,000. I present this to the board for its consideration and approval. We will be bringing it back once we have the closing statement that have all the additional costs associated with it.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item S, request approval of budget amendment from District CIP 2013 Bond Series Contingency Fund to budget shortage in the amount of $172,921.50 for construction contract number HCDD1 14028 1028 to M5 Texas Enterprise for drainage control structure, Westlaco North Lateral Base 1, and drain control structure, Monte Cristo Base 2, Monte Cristo Alternate 1. Board of Directors action was on 10/28/14. These are two of the projects that were in the bond issue that we had put them out separately, and we had not gotten bid on one, then we combined them and the board approved it. But we have a shortfall in there that we need to take from our contingency to make up the difference on the bids that came in.
Move for approval.
Second.
What was the original estimated cost?
I think there were $139,000 apiece, Judge, and there was two of them, and we had a shortfall of $172,921.50 on those two projects. I think that was, is that the amount that was 139? Yeah, it's 139,000 for each one.
And this additional monies, the 172 is for both of them or just one?
For both of them, sir.
All right, those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 9, approval to submit payment to Holt Cat for the following purchase orders. PO 624155 for dozer number 16 repairs at job site in the amount of $259. PO number 625560 for dozer 18 in the amount of $388.68 for PM kits exceeding purchase order by $39.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 10, approval to submit payment to Beverly Hardware in the amount of $12.59 on PO 625318 due to duplication of product.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 11, request approval of change order number 1 to construction contract number HCDD1 13022 0429B Precinct 2 FM 495 drain, Wisconsin Road Field Crossing with Rojas Heavy Equipment LLC, DBA Rojas Construction and Paving, an increase in the amount of $40,817.22. Excuse me. This change order comes about when the project was put out for bid. The plans had been done several years ago. It's being funded under the rural drainage in precinct number 2. Contractor started construction of the project, ran into a storm sewer line that was not there when the project was originally designed several years ago. Now the storm line has to be connected to the ditch. I do have the project engineer here, Ramiro Gutierrez, if the board has any questions on it. But this is the change order for the construction of that tie-in into the drain ditch. And this is in your precinct, Commissioner Cantu.
Yes, sir.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 12, request approval of an additional subconsultant on the TEDSI Infrastructure Group for Precinct 1 2012 bond referendum improvement project in accordance with that certain agreement by and between Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 and TEDSI Infrastructure Group dated April 2013. And I'll let Ms. Dionis give you clarification on that one, sir.
Judge, Commissioners, we have an additional subconsultant that we came across for TEDSI infrastructure that was not included last week. It's Cosicant LLC. They're the engineering firm out of San Antonio, I believe, that prepared the plans for these two projects.
What's the name of the firm?
Cosicant LLC. The engineer is Miguel Orozco.
Move for approval.
Second.
And what are we doing here? Are we trying to get additional monies?
Well, earlier in the amendment, we obtained 142. We had an amendment for 172,000 for those projects. But in the plans, we're getting ready to go to construction, and while paying the engineering plans, we came across another subconsultant. So we need to come to the board and identify all the subconsultants.
All right, and the subconsultants, the contractor is TEDSI?
Yes,
The subconsultant is LaFever?
yes. Well,
And-
LaFever was
And under
mentioned.
him, who's going to do the work?
The actual engineering plans?
Yes.
I believe those are being done they're stamped by Orozco, LaFever, and TEDSI.
Well, what is LaFever going to be doing?
LaFever is the initial subconsultant.
But what actual work are they going to be doing? Are we paying him anything? If we're not paying him anything, then I don't need to ask.
We pay just TEDSI, and TEDSI will subconsult to
The
The-
contract is TEDSI's, and then TEDSI's got a sub, and then, but we don't pay anything direct to FEMA.
Okay, Commissioner? The initial estimate of the cost of the project was how much?
these projects are for 139,000 for both engineering and construction.
I'm sorry,
139,000 for engineering and construction.
and the new cost is what?
They're combined. I believe the engineering is about 60,000 or 30,000, 32,000 for each project. So about $60,000 is coming out of
Do we have a different estimated cost?
What he's asking is, the initial cost of the engineering, and I'm talking the whole scope,
The whole-
has that price changed at all?
It's not gonna change, no?
It's not,
No, that has not
there's-
changed.
There's no change
No,
in
it's not
price.
changing
For-
the cost.
Basically, there's multiple
when look-
scopes
Yes.
that
It's
they're
just to
doing, and they have
identify the-
subconsultants to cover
When
the
looking at
scopes.
one project, it was estimated 139. From that 139, engineering for one project is 32,000. And then we have the cost of the,
The subconsultants for the other scopes.
no,
All
it's
right.
the cost of the additional construction.
Got it.
Because they went out to bid already.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. The next item,
Check my agenda. Excuse me. No? Item 13. 13, right? We already did this one. Okay, so we're on 13. Okay. Item 13, this was an item that was placed on.
Godfrey, what I
Yes, sir.
thought we would do, and if the court would go along with it, is perhaps set aside a date for a workshop.
That's what I was going to recommend, Judge. What we do have for all of the commissioners at this time, we did get short notice yesterday that y'all were asking for this. So what I asked Jaime, which is our purchasing contractor, and Laura, which is the accounting, is to do a spreadsheet on every single project, to put out the status of the project, show y'all construction costs. We'll hand this out to y'all, and then whenever y'all would like to have a workshop to go item by item on it, because we're looking at probably 20-some-odd projects, different status on each project. So what I'd like to do right now is hand out our handout to y'all, and then we'll wait whenever y'all want to give us a date when y'all want to have the workshop. Laura?
Let me have one for Commissioner Flores.
Oh, they're included, okay.
Commissioners, what about setting a date? Would any time, perhaps next week, be okay with you guys?
Absolutely.
Stacy?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. We'll work on sometime next week, if you'll get together with Ms. Chapa and kind of coordinate.
Just give us a
dates and get
location
hold
where
of the
we're gonna
chiefs
have
of
it to make
staff
sure-
of the various
yep.
commissioners.
Okay. Excuse me.
All right. Item 14.
Judge, before we go on the item, I'm going to make a motion to table this item. Second? No action. Take a no action. Also, a recommendation for the court to consider securing the similar position for the district manager position on creation, and then proceeding with the assistant. It feels like we're going backwards right now. We got an existing contract that's going to be going out pretty soon. I think it's imperative that we decide, or the board consider what they want to do in regards to the district manager position, and then follow up with the assistant manager. That is just my independent position, but I thought I'd make that recommendation to the board so that we
And
do it correctly.
At the time
and
of the
on our show.
contract for Mr. Garza, which is February 16th?
Yes.
Okay.
Come up with it on the next meeting, I guess. We
So-
can put it on the agenda.
Okay.
I'll second that.
And if it's,
What if, let's assume that Mr. Garza doesn't continue on after February? And
Well,
then
then-
who's going to be, are we going to have any time for?
well, in this case, we would be
training or-
securing not an assistant, we'd be securing a district manager position, whether it be Godfrey or whether it be any individual. I think it's imperative that we secure a director more so than assistant director at this point in time. Whether Godfrey goes or stays, I think it's very apparent that whoever we select will be managing the district nonetheless. So I think it behooves the board to secure the district manager position first before the assistant. It's
Yeah,
just a
I think
recommendation that I
The assistant's going to
have.
be under the director, whoever it is, so.
All right.
I have a question. Do we have a job description for the district manager that we're going to be hiring?
We do have one already. We're proposing to bring it back on.
Yes, sir. This is the job description we sent out to everyone to make sure that everyone, including Mr. Garza,
Can you make sure that Mr. Cantu gets,
absolutely. Absolutely. I did send one to Mr. Garza, but I'll make sure that I send it directly to you, sir.
Okay.
Okay? Thank
all
you.
right, if that's the wish of the board, then we'll wait until after we find out what action we're going to take on February the 10th, I believe.
When is the next meeting?
I would imagine, Judge, it's up to the majority of the board is to proceed next week with the same item, but rather it be a district manager position as opposed to an assistant district manager position. It is what I think that we're trying to do is to have a district manager that is a district employee as opposed a contract with a firm to provide those services.
Okay.
and-
And you
and-
said next week, sir?
I would hope for next week. Same thing we're doing here. Rather
Okay.
than being an assistant director, let's
A
secure a
director.
district manager.
But you want to do it next week or the next meeting?
The next
The
meeting.
next meeting, in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks?
Yeah, next week we'll have the
Oh,
workshop, and
yes.
then the next meeting will
That's
probably
correct.
be in 2
I forgot it's
weeks.
2 weeks. That's correct.
All right.
So just to be clear, at the next meeting, it would be the district manager only, or both the district and the assistant?
Whatever the wishes of the board. I think the whole concept is you do have to have a district manager as well as
First,
assistant. If you want to do them concurrently, that'd be perfectly fine, but I think it's imperative we secure a district manager first and work to proceed to secure the
We'll be
assistant as
happy to
well.
to bring both of them, and then it's up to the
We can
court,
put them
whatever
both,
you
and
decide.
then we can decide either, we can take one or take both, or.
Okay. And just for Commissioner Cantu, the first job description for the district manager, we had feedback from all of the precincts, including Mr. Garza. And then the next assistant district manager, what we did is we used the same job description, except we added the word assist to all the responsibilities.
Is it the same job description we're talking about? We only have one job description, right, for the
I think we have two.
district manager, or?
There's two, Commissioner. There's one for the district manager and
And one for
the
assistant.
assistant, yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So we can put both of them, and then it's up to the Commissioner Court what you
But the
do.
only difference is that one says assistant, correct?
Yes, sir.
Put them both on the agenda, and then we'll decide once we're acting.
And I'll send the copies to everybody
And just to
ahead of
answer
time.
Commissioner Cantu's question, the two different job descriptions
Yes,
are
sir.
different in nature.
Yes, sir.
They're not the
Two
same
different.
identical.
They're identical in responsibilities, except the assistant district manager, the only thing we added to the general manager's job description is assist as part of the responsibilities.
Right.
Okay, so it is, but they are two distinct job descriptions, yes, sir. And we'll place them both, and then whatever the court decides.
All right, so we'll bring this back up. Anything else, Mr. Garcia?
I have no item unless the board wishes to discuss any in executive session.
If there's
Move to adjourn?
Second.
those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you very much, Judge Commissioners.
At this time, we're going to convene our Hidalgo County Commissioners Court for today, January the 6th, 2015. Welcome all of you here this morning. Roll call, the President, our Commissioners, Cuellar, Precinct 1, Cantu, Precinct 2, Palacios, Precinct 4, and myself. We have a quorum. Please join us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Father in heaven, we thank you for all the blessings that you give us. We thank you for new beginnings. We thank you for giving us hope. We thank you for giving us all kinds of strength to go forward, doing good things for this county. We ask you to bless this group of people who are our leaders, make them have wisdom, and keep them safe through all this year. And we ask all these things in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Are there any concerns with the consent agenda, Mr. Eufrasio?
I'd like to ask that consent agenda item 8A be pulled for discussion.
Move for approval without 8A.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
8A is under the county judge's office. This is approval to process an invoice 3593753-0 in the amount of $67.61 as a claim with authority for processing and a check to be issued. This is based on the fact that it was a 2012 invoice, but the original PO had items which were in question, plus it was liquidated prior to the invoice being addressed. So I do recommend approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
That is all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I know we have several county elected officials in the audience that are here on certain items. The first one being our District Court Judge, Bobby Flores, 139 District Court. I believe you're here on item 12A, Judge.
Good morning. Happy New Year, and may it please the court.
Morning.
Morning, Judge.
I've had the privilege and the burden of being the local administrative judge, and as such, the commission's being generous to give us $3,000 a year for my coordinator. Here's the situation. I lost one of my coordinators to the 92nd District Court, Pete Lavato. He was one of the ones responsible for doing a lot of the work. And what I'm asking this honorable commission is to allow Mr. Lavato to continue his duties in helping me as a local administrative judge in preparing documents that are needed. And that's really what I'm asking. And the other half is going to go to my other coordinator, Sylvia Reyes.
Well, I was looking around for Bobby, for our executive officer.
Oh, Valde?
Yeah,
Judge-
Valde.
Judge Commissioners, basically, the item is 17A and 17B. We need to take action on 17A first. 17A is approval of a correction or clarification to Agenda Item 9A, AI 41236, which was approved back in October of 2013. That was a decrease in the supplemental pay for the DWI court grant supplement. When the item was taken to court, the full amount of the supplemental pay was included in the agenda caption. However, it should have only been the DWI supplement of $4,895. That should have been reduced. Both the court coordinator and assistant court coordinator should have stayed with the supplement of $1,500 for duties assigned because of the 139th being the presiding judge.
So we're making a correction, is that?
Correct. That's what I'm requesting, approval of that correction.
Yeah. Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And then on item 17B is approval of that transfer of the supplemental pay for the court coordinator. which will be for the court coordinator for the 92nd District Court, which is the Honorable Luis M. Singletary. The court coordinator will have the supplement of $1,500, and the assistant court coordinator for the 139th, which is the departing assistant court coordinator, will have the supplement of $1,500 reduced from their salary as they are transferring over to the 92nd District Court. So we can have action on 17B, approving the transfer.
Move for approval.
Yes.
Where they're at?
The PAR forms, they should be attached now. I believe they were attached this morning.
Yeah.
I need a second for
Second.
1, 2, and 3. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, and we have our newly elected district attorney, Mr. Ricardo Rodriguez here, and he's here on an open forum. Morning,
Judge, Commissioners, staff, good morning. I know that you took the order age before beauty, so I know that's why you called Judge Bobby first.
He didn't hear you. He left. He ran out.
Judge, Commissioners, thank you for taking me up this morning. I just wanted to officially introduce myself to the judge and the county commissioners and to the citizens of this county. Just want to let you know that we are here, willing, ready, and able to serve, to give you the best advice, give you the best opinions according to the rule of law. And we have our Chief Assistant in the Civil Division, Josie Ramirez, who's here present with us. I'd like to congratulate Judge Ramon Garcia, Joseph Palacios, for being elected again as to a judge and commissioner, and also our newly elected good friend, Eddie Cantu. So congratulations. Judge, Commissioners, real quick, I don't want to be the county judge. I don't want to be the county commissioners. That's your job. And again, we're here to serve you in the best way that we can. I reminded my staff yesterday that we are fortunate to be able to be part and have hands-on on the best judicial system in place in the country, in the world. We've had this judicial system in place for a long time, and I reminded them that it's the best judicial system because we are here to protect the innocent, we're here to punish the bad and the evil, we're also here to protect the weak. And how do we keep that judicial system in place? We have to make sure that we protect the integrity and respect the integrity of the judicial system. And that's what we're going to do. So again, I just want to officially introduce myself, Josie, who is the Chief Assistant of Civil Division, and we're here to help in any way that we can. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you, Judge. Josie. We also have Mr. Paul Villarreal, our elected tax assessor and collector. Paul, you're up. Item 11A.
Morning. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Happy New Year. And I think Marty's just going to go ahead and make the presentation.
Yes, on that item, we're asking for no action after consultation and supporting documentation sent to the auditor's office. It will not be a claim. We're going to make it a purchase order increase, and this
So
will.
no action on 11.
So no action is necessary.
What item is that?
11A.
Yes.
11A.
Thank you. That was easy.
All right, we move back to open forum. First presenter is Fern McClarity.
You moved the podium, so I want to be sure I can get up here within my 5 minutes. Good morning, Commissioners. I would like to add my congratulations to our new County Commissioner, Eddie Cantu. Also to tell him that the people have lost confidence in the Commissioner's Court because they have had a history of saying one thing and doing another. These commissioners continue to say they will not raise taxes and then create projects that will significantly increase taxes on the poorest among us. They do not seem to understand that 80% of our population live on a fixed income, and any tax increase would have a negative impact on our population. During our last meeting, this commission approved an agreement that would allow an energy provider to pay no taxes, and there is no indication that this project will ever benefit Hidalgo County. I looked up on the website, most of them don't. So the poorest are subsidizing a wind energy provider, and it is welfare for the rich. During today's meeting, the commission will consider the penalty for these property owners who cannot pay their taxes on time. For the last 6 years, 31% of the taxpayers did not pay their taxes on time. Guess what is going to happen when the commission increases tax to build a new courthouse or create a hospital district? This is one of the poorest counties in the state, and Hidalgo County has one of, if not the highest tax rate in Texas. It seems to me that if you are rich or politically connected, you may not have to pay as much taxes or taxes at all. But if you are poor, you are doomed to pay more taxes each year. What the people need are elected representatives that understand them and who can resist the opportunity to use them for their own financial gain. Remember that the county's budget is about $16 million overspent, and this is the commissioners have allotted $4 million from the 2014 budget to construct a new courthouse, and this will therefore increase the debt. So if the county commissioners truly want to improve the economy and lower the unemployment rate, they would stop creating projects that increase taxes because the people of the county simply cannot afford it. It would also help if they would start telling the truth concerning the impact of the projects. When y'all have projects, y'all always say the money here, money there. Tell us where it's going and how much it is and how much more in the hole we're going to go. Thank you.
Next presenter is Virginia Townsend.
Good morning. I hope we're going to go back to having meetings once a week because it's confusing. Going back to once a week. Very good. I mean, I just take a nod of the head. You didn't say anything to me. Okay. Also, the annex building, may I remind you, it's supposed to be finished in February. That was what was said by the builder or whomever. I just want you all to keep in mind, it's nice to have a start date and an end date to our projects, and I hope that end date is February because it's been going on way too long. Whenever there's a wrecked constable car like there is in the agenda, there's no explanation. I guess I want a little bit of an explanation. This constable was involved in a serious chase and he ended up wrecking the car, whatever. I don't mind that it happens because I know accidents happen, but I sure would like a little bit of an explanation because there is a lot of wrecked cars with the constables. Also, I see one of our precincts are going to have their own PR person.
A reclass of a position.
PR person, okay. I know you're not supposed to talk to me, but anyhow. I thought we all agreed somewhere back there that we were going to share a PR person for the whole county. I don't know. I know every commissioner has their own business, can do what they want, but I just think it's a little overkill, probably, even though I know you do a good job of it all on your own. Okay, thank you very much.
Next presenter is Opal Billman.
Good morning. My name is Opal Billman. I am here under my First Amendment right to petition my government for a redress of grievances. My grievance is that in Hidalgo County, using a petition for divorce, I have been held in police-enforced false imprisonment in the United States of America since 1997, 17 years. False imprisonment is a crime. When someone refers to a restraining order, most people think of a document, either temporary or permanent, with specific restrictions that has an assigned duration and is called a restraining order. The duration of a permanent restraining order is 2 years. At that time, the decision can be made to renew the restraining order or to allow it to end. People have said that I am under a restraining order. I am not. I am under a court-ordered injunction, which enforces my absence by confinement to the house from my community property without a divorce settlement. Using an injunction, ownership of my community property is removed from me without a legal divorce settlement occurring. Because an injunction places a hardship on one spouse, it cannot be activated until the divorce is finalized. This divorce was never finalized. A court order has no duration. If not removed by another court order, the injunction is my complete loss of all of my community property and false imprisonment of me for the rest of my life. Existing law does not allow this legal infraction to occur. When Joe died, the law is the case must be dismissed. That would be a court order that ends the divorce action, invalidates the injunction, and the police-enforced false imprisonment. I would like explanations and clarifications of the court actions. In the process for divorce settlement between Joe and me, the court has no authority to encumber our debt-free community property with indebtedness, award it and our mineral rights to a shell corporation, and begin selling our community property without disclosure or payment to us, to appoint a trustee and beneficiary and award our community property to him, or to award all of the community property belonging to Joe and me to one of our 3 children. These court orders are not appropriate response to a petition for divorce.
You have 1 minute, ma'am.
It was 3 minutes at home. Texas community property law and the 5th and 14th Amendments to the Constitution prohibit these actions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next presenter is Liz Zunier with the El Mañana newspaper. Next presenter is Joseph Palacios.
Judge, Commissioners, and the Alice, it's just a clarification of the reasoning. We're taking a clerk position and reclassifying it with that. There is no increase of any salary whatsoever. The purpose of it is not to increase marketing by any means whatsoever. We are now dealing with something we haven't dealt with before. We now have 15,000 taxpayers that are now 15,000 permit holders, which are 15,000 customers daily that are accessing our collection sites. We are assuring that this new program works. We're having to sit there with them, explain the program, and make sure that there's a success in that program, which is in the tune of over $500,000 just in our precinct alone. It is something we've never dealt with in the past. We issued one permit, and they've gone through it without stop. Now we're assuring that they're paying their fee. We're assuring that at the end of the day, the precinct is offering good customer service, assuring that there's quality assurance, and assuring that that trash doesn't end up in our roads. So it's a critical component with what we're doing. We're just taking a clerk position and assuring that that individual is going to be dealing with the general public, which are our customers and our taxpayers. And that's the best explanation that I can give you. It has nothing to do with anything other than that. Thank you.
All right, next item. Under item 6A, we have a resolution in honor of Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, Place 2, Rosa Trevino, for 38 years of service.
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners and Judge. Item 6A is a resolution in honor of Rosa Trevino, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, Place 2. Whereas the Honorable Judge Rosa Trevino is being honored for her dutiful service and dedication to the County of Hidalgo after serving with distinction and integrity for 38 years, serving 23 of those years on the bench as JP for Precinct 2, Place 2. 24 years, excuse me, I stand corrected. Whereas born in 1939 and raised in San Juan, Texas, Judge Trevino attended PSJA High School, married her husband, the late Eloy L. Trevino, at the age of 17, obtained her GED, and attended a business college in McAllen, Texas. And whereas Judge Trevino began her career in the county in 1975 as a juvenile probation officer, by 1982 was court coordinator for the 93rd District Court. In 1989, she made a decision to run for JP, Precinct 2, Place 2, and won the election in a runoff. Pardon? Without a runoff. Serving for 6 consecutive terms before retiring from the bench, Judge Trevino credits her success to hard work, passion, and the unconditional support of her husband. In the future, Judge Trevino plans to continue serving the community in other capacities and looks forward to spending more time with her family, including her 7 children and 2 grandchildren, Avery D. Benitez and Cody Huffman. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby recognizes and honors the Honorable Judge Rosa Trevino for her outstanding service, dedication, and commitment during all these years of service to the community and the citizens of Hidalgo County.
Entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimously. Judge, on behalf of the residents of Hidalgo County, we sincerely want to thank you for 38 years of conscientious public service.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, and
Thank
we wish
you, Honorable Judge Garcia. Thank you, Commissioners. On behalf of my family, my husband, God rest his soul, I want to thank you for this courtesy that you have extended to me and my family. I didn't expect this. I'm a humble person, and the rest you know. I have served with dignity. I retired with my head high. I enjoyed my years with the county. I went through a lot of county judges, county commissioners, constables, sheriffs, and I was delighted to work with each and everybody. More so, my constituents. And I have offered them my continued help in whichever way. I am not an attorney. I will not give legal advice. But our people, as you know, and as the ladies here were saying, we have a lot of people that need our help. A lot of guidance. And I was there for them. And I will continue. I have offered my home because they come and knock on my door day and night. There is nothing private. There should be nothing private about a justice of the peace or a public servant. So we should make ourselves available 100% of our time. We earn good monies, and we should, in return, serve our people. But I want to thank you for this courtesy. I want to congratulate Eddie Cantu and your family, which my husband loved you. Thank you so much for these courtesies on behalf of myself, my husband, and my family.
Do you want to introduce your family to the court?
Yes.
To the
I
public?
have Lisa. Come down, Lisa. Dr. Lisa Trevino. Eloy Trevino Jr. And Nidia Trevino. My other children are out of town. Charlie is flying, and another one lives in Houston. Another one is in heaven with my husband, and the other one is working. So this is my pride and joy. This is the wealth that my husband left, and I'm very grateful.
Julie?
Thanks.
Anything I can help you with?
Our next item is item 6B.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Excuse me. And welcome to Commissioner Cantu. Michael Leo, County Judge's Office. Item 6B is discussion, consideration, and approval of nomination resolution to the Tobacco Settlement Permanent Trust Account Administration Advisory Committee. We received correspondence from the Texas Conference of Urban Counties letting us know that one of their advisory members had resigned. This term will expire in August of 2017. Hidalgo County is eligible to make a nomination to this advisory committee because we received one of the greatest distribution amounts from the Tobacco Settlement Trust. The committee provides oversight and adopts rules regarding the allocation of the annual distributions of the earnings from the Tobacco Settlement Permanent Trust account. We had something similar a couple of years ago in which the court nominated Eddie Olivares. He's also served in that capacity in the past as well. But at this time, what we have is a resolution, and we just need a name to make that nomination.
I believe we wanted to, I'd like to nominate Mr. Eddie Olivares, who does an excellent job in representing the county in our many matters related to health, public health.
Judge, thank you. Nomination would be an honor for us. I've served in this capacity in the past in dealing with the Tobacco Settlement Trust, and it is a very important committee in dealing with how the dissemination of the funding gets given out to all 254 counties in Texas. So with the commissioner's backing, thank you very much for that nomination.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Item number 7.
Alden Guerra.
We're on 7A, Bali.
Judge, there's no action under item 7A, 1 and 2 unless there's action to be taken further down the agenda. Item 7B, there will be a full presentation at our next Commissioners Court, 7B, 1, 2, and 3. Item 7C, I'm asking the court to consider.
Before you go, Bali,
I'm
what
sorry.
is the date we're supposed to move into that new building?
The updated was April, Judge,
That's
not
what I
February.
thought,
It's
and
April.
Virginia mentioned February.
No, I'll talk to Mrs. Townsend afterwards.
All right.
Item 7C, consideration and adoption of order authorizing penalties imposed under Texas Property Code Section 33.07 and 33.08. Judge, Commissioners, item 1 and 2 is the counterpart from the Drainage District with respect to our delinquent tax attorneys. And so it is it's the exact same presentation that was done under Drainage District, but this is on the county side for the imposition of this penalty. Again, Texas Property Code Section 33.07 and 33.08 is item 1.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those, that's the both 1 and 2, Commissioner?
1 and 2.
1 and 2, okay, and 2 would be Property Code Section 33.11.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Item D, Judge Commissioners, I'm asking the court to accept approval to accept a settlement check from Endeavor General Agency in the amount of $20,957.84. This will settle a total loss accident with one of our county vehicles.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. I'm sorry, were you trying to say something?
No, I'll talk to Virginia in just 1 second.
All right, that completes your presentation, brother.
Yes, yes, sir.
All right, item 8, our HR department.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Item 8A for Precinct 2 Road Maintenance, approval to authorize auto allowance for the Director Fields Operation position, slot number 90, in the amount of $5,000, effective full pay period of 1/12/15.
Move for approval.
1, 2, and 3. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries.
Under 8B, for Precinct 4, approval of the following personnel actions effective next full pay period of 1/12/15, to delete slot number 27, Drainage Improvement Truck Driver 2 at $30,503, to delete slot 34, Clerk 4 at $38,110, to create a Truck Driver 3 at $30,503, and to create a Public Affairs Specialist 1 at $3,810. Approval of the
approval, 1 and
revised
2.
salary schedule.
Second.
Commissioner, this is the one where,
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. It clears up our truck driver issue. We have truck driver 3s that are being paid at that amount. It just allows us to, from a human resource standpoint, the public affairs is merely just to handle all of our sanitation collections.
there was a concern voiced by our public affairs individual
Yes.
that that the language was broad enough to cover the whole county. Am I correct? And you cleared it up at least earlier that you're limiting his or her involvement in public affairs to precinct 4.
Right, yeah, and I want to clarify that that is the case, Judge. It is merely to handle the general public when it comes down to issues related to sanitation and colonias, as we're doing colonial lighting and some of our other programs. We do have a lot of HUD programs down there, Urban County, where we're working with colonia activist groups. It's merely to deal with our general public in our precinct boundaries.
Well, in the language that describes the job responsibilities, we ought to further state in there that limited to precinct involvement in precinct 4.
I'd be happy to do that, Judge.
Okay. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item number 9, our DA's office.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Item 9A is approval to create the following temporary part-time position not to exceed 6 months, effective 1/1 of 2015 to 6/30 of 2015. It's Lot T016. It's a Clerk 1 position at $6,683. It's $10.10 hourly.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number 2 is approval to waive posting procedures for the Clerk 1 position, slot T016.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries.
Number 3 is approval of revised salary schedule.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 9B is approval of the 2015 DA's office budget for the Fund 1222, the DA's bad checks.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B is approval of appropriation of the DA's office 1222 DA's bad check funds.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Next item is approval of 2015 DA's office budget for the Fund 1223 DA Investigation HB 65 account.
Move for approval.
Second.
Now, these are monies that are generated by the operation of the office.
Correct, sir.
Am I correct? They're not part of the general fund?
No, sir.
Direct. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B is approval of appropriation of DA's office 1223 DA Investigation HB 65 funds.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Judge, and also all of these funds are not included in the county's budget. That's why they're having to bring them and present them to you in the beginning of the year. These are discretionary funds that they have
All right,
discretion
sir.
to use.
Thank you.
Next item is approval of 2015 DA's office budget for the 1225 DA pretrial.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Next item is approval of appropriation of the DA's office 1225 DA pretrial funds.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C is approval of the 2015 HIDA Chapter 59 Asset Forfeiture Fund Budget 1251.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B is approval of appropriation of the HIDA Chapter 59 Asset Forfeiture Funds.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C2 is the approval of the 2015 HIDA U.S. Justice Asset Forfeiture Fund Budget. That's a 1254 account.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Approval of appropriation of the HIDA U.S. Justice Asset Forfeiture Funds.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries.
Authorization and approval for the Dow County HIDA Task Force investigators to be paid instead of banking extra duty hours from January 1, 2015 through December 31st, 2015.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I know we've been joined by our constable from County Commissioner Precinct 2, Mr. Marty Cantu. Constable, what particular item are you here on, sir? Well, welcome. Item number 10, our Sheriff's Office.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning.
Richard Ozuna, Sheriff's Office, Hidalgo County. On behalf of our Sheriff Higuera, item 10A, authorization and approval to submit a state administrative agency extension request form in reference to Operation Stone Garden FY 2013, and authorization for the county judge as the authorized official to sign the required document.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Under 10B is requesting approval for reimbursement for Sergeant Glenn Mendoza in the amount of $21.22 for the purchase of coolant fluid for a county vehicle.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
That's all we have for now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item 12.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Happy New Year, and welcome, Commissioner Cantu. First item we have is 12A, is presentation on Walk Across Texas. I'm going to have my team come forward and give the honors and presentation on a very healthy outcome. Ricardo, please.
Good morning, County Judge, Commissioners.
Morning.
We'd like to present to the winning team that we had this time around. Just a quick note, last time we had 8 teams participate in the Walk Across Texas. This round, we had 31 teams participate in this.
And were they all county departments?
Yes, sir, county departments and school districts in the wellness program that we're trying to get across here. We had, as a county, we walked 65,637 miles. And the winning team was the Soul Survivors. They're here. We can give them a round of applause. And we had Miss Sandra Garza. She walked the most miles, 1,689 miles in 8 weeks. Congratulations. And we'd like to honor him with...
The team captain is Ms. Sandra Garza. I'd like to honor her and the team members as well. We have some medals, correct?
Yes.
Come forward, Sandra. Here we go. Medal for you. Eva, medal for you. And
The other one's going to make it. But
the other ones couldn't make it, but we're going to get these out there, and you can see all this. And this is a tremendous effort put forth by all our departments, and I have to acknowledge the precincts and a lot of our departments, very, very competitive. Trust me, very competitive, and they take it very seriously. But the next goal, when we do this next time around, we're actually going to put some weight behind it, literally, and actually put some pounds behind it, because this is actually saving a lot of our employees and our costs from a health perspective in dealing with living a healthier life, utilization of health benefits, and trying to get our utilization costs down. But also it promotes a good, healthy environment in our community and our county to be as role models. So again, the winning team, way to go. Congratulations. Okay. As Ms. McClarity just said, as being the leader, I should be leading and not pushing it. I understand. I'm getting there. I get the message. Next item I have on here is 12B, sir.
Yes.
Is approval for county to pay Safeguard Universal LLC for invoice number 25392 in the amount of $1,256. And this is just for some items that we use, part of the Walk Across Texas that comes from our, from a fund that we have from our wellness program fund. Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C is Health Administrative under 1293, approval of the 2015 Health Department budget for Fund Number 1293, Health Administration. And item 2 is approval of the appropriation of the Health Department 1293 Health Administration Fund in the amount of $150,000, sir. Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Sir, I'd like to take under item D, discussion and health action, including but not limited to health care funding district. There is no action there. And under E is health and indigent health care program discussion and action, including but not limited to indigent health care programs and our 1115 waiver expenditures. I'd like to acknowledge, sir, Mr. Eufrasio's office and his team. They were very helpful in trying to get all our, and budget office, it was Sergio Cruz and his team in getting all our funding in place and deadline. We had a deadline of getting everything by January 2nd. To the state, and all worked really well. So I'd like to thank them for, during the holiday period, it was very difficult to get everything coordinated, and I want to give them thanks for that.
Eddie, you're
Thank you.
forgetting the treasurer's office, because they're the ones that actually.
And the treasurers,
put
and
the
Ms.
money in.
Garcia, I apologize, Ms. Garcia and her team as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eddie. Item 13, Urban County.
Morning. Morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning, Mr. Bargo.
First item A is Urban County Program on behalf of the City of Progreso is requesting consideration and action to award and enter into a construction contract with 2GS LLC for the paving improvements project with a total contract amount of $192,155, utilizing UCP City of Progreso Street Improvements Funds fiscal year 25-26.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, County of Hidalgo Urban County Program is disclosing that Felicidad Garcia, who has applied for owner-occupied rehabilitation housing assistance, is the mother of Finance Clerk Number 2, Rogelio del Bosque, an employee of Urban County Program.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C, Urban County Program, on behalf of the City of Palmview, is requesting approval of a contract extension with Senco General Contracting, Inc., for an additional 120 days in order to amend a utility easement for the ongoing Abram Bridge Road Project construction contract.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioner.
Thank you, sir. Item 14, our Planning Department.
Judge, before he starts, I knew I should have done it in the beginning, but it's be more fitting to do it now, but obviously offer a moment of silence and some condolences to the Alabama Roll Tide this past week. We know that they lost.
Oh, come on, Commish.
We
That's
do
an
wish you a
ugly
good
color,
year, baby. Better
Commish.
luck next year.
Yes, sir. Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide.
All right.
You see me wearing black today, so.
Gotcha.
Appropriately. Oh, that hurts. Oh, no. First item is reimbursement financial guarantee, Campbell Estate subdivision. They're just requesting reimbursement $1,500 for the septic tank installation. And we have the inspection report. Everything's in order for reimbursement.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And the second item is San Marcos subdivision, again, a reimbursement for $22,500. It's for the septic tank improvements. They've all been installed. We have the approval letter, and everything's in order for reimbursement.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2 is discussion and possible action to authorize the revision of Mile 6 Acre subdivision as per Texas Local Government Code 232.041. Mr. Arredondo, my planning supervisor, will be making that presentation to the court.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Basically, this is a request to delete a utility easement between lots 5 and 6 of Mile 6 Acre subdivision. We're following the law with this application where we're recommending approval. There'll be no effect, negative effect to anybody in the subdivision. There's utility easements running all around the other lots, so there won't be an issue with that.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Mr. Cecine, what was the number on the first one? On the 8-1 or 1A1A?
1,500.
1,500? Okay.
Yes, sir, just one system.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, item number 15, Precinct 3.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Item 15A for Precinct 3, Commissioner Joe Flores, is discussion, consideration, and acceptance and approval of advanced funding agreement between Hidalgo County and the Texas Department of Transportation for the FM 494 road project from FM 676 to State Highway 107, CSJ 0864-01068, with authority for the county just to sign the required documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 16.
Good morning, Judge Commissioner Jesse Osuna for Commissioner Joseph Palacios. We'd just like to welcome our new partner from P2, as he likes to call it, Commissioner Cantu, welcome. Item 16A, authorization and approval of name change as recommended by LRGV DC 911, proposed name to Star Ray Service Road.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item 16B, approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor for the 10th Street, State Highway 107 to FM 1925 project. And 2, approval of 2014 appropriation of funds in the amount of $600,000 for the 10th Street, State Highway 107 to FM 1925 project.
Judge,
Yes.
we have not certified these revenues. Normally, we certify revenues upon a request by the precinct. We never received that request, so we have not certified the revenues because of that.
Oh, so we need to wait until you certify them before we approve them then?
Correct.
Judge, if we can approve Item 16B, 1 and 2, subject to the auditor receiving that letter. It would have been previously sent to his office. We've communicated with the staff at Precinct 4 to resend that letter, and they're in the process of resending that to Mr. Eufrasio, to Ms. Fong, and myself. So we can have it approved, subject to that.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Our Budget Office,
Judge Commissioners, item 17C is approval to undesignate the amount of $41,000 in fiscal year 2015 for expenditures related to the new courthouse. These are unspent funds that we had on the review of the schematic design that we're asking to be undesignated so that we can appropriate it for this fiscal year.
Move for approval.
Second.
those in favor, say,
1 and 2.
okay, those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C2 is approval of the appropriation of funds in the amount of $41,000. And will be appropriated back to the same purpose, which will be for the review of the schematic design.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 17D1 is approval of 2015 appropriation of funds in the amount of $4,500. This is to fund increases in the fiscal agent fees for the certificates of obligation and refunding bonds. The funds are funds 1435, 1436, 1438, 1439, 1440, 1441, 1442, 1443, and 1444. It's an appropriation of $500 each. For each of those funds, a total of $4,500.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Our purchasing,
18A, Martha Salazar for Purchasing Department. First of all, welcome to Precinct 2, to Commissioners Court. And secondly, to the least of our SEC brothers, gig 'em. Gig 'em. Never count us out. You know, we do have that 12th man. 18A, this is discussion and applicable action on an option to extend an additional 90 days or any variation of that term is determined by Hidalgo County Commissioners Court. The current agreement between Hidalgo County and the architectural firm of Hellmuth, Obata, and Kassenbaum, LP, also known as HOK, for the review and analysis of the county-owned schematic designs for the construction of the new county courthouse. I believe that Judge Ramon is going to recommend that we extend until March 30th for now, which is a 60-day extension. Of course, we do have the final option in the event it's needed to go an additional 30.
March
after that.
30th is more than 60. Is it 60 days from a certain day or from today?
From January 30th. Right
Okay.
now, the initial term ends January 30th.
All right.
So it would be to March 30th.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2, requesting authority for Valdeguerra, Executive Officer, to sign and submit federal excise tax exemption certificates for a period of this fiscal year, which is January through December for the calendar year of 2015.
Move for approval.
We get those those requests daily.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 3 is presentation for discussion, consideration, and approval to enter into a new interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County and it's called the Purchasing Co-op of America, PCA. And this is an additional resource for the county to use in obtaining goods and/or services that are awarded under this co-op. And this is authority for the county judge to execute the agreement and thus permit the purchasing agent or designee to complete and fulfill the online PCA membership. There is no charge
Move for approval.
for joining this.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B1, this is for Precinct 3, approval of an amendment to the, amendment number 5 to the current agreement between Hidalgo County and Cook Joyce, which is an engineering firm for the provision of services in connection with Hidalgo County Precinct 3's Benita landfill to reflect the continuation of the scope of work.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
That is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, pursuant to 551-071 and 072, need a motion to proceed to executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right, we're back in open session. Mr. Guerra?
Under open session, Judge Commissioners, item 20A, real estate acquisition, appropriation the same, there is no action to be taken. Item 20B, pending and/or potential litigation, there is no action to be taken. Judge Commissioners, under 20C, Rodriguez Serna versus Hidalgo County, there will be no action to be taken today. Item 20D, Jose Rocha versus Hidalgo County. Judge Commissioners, I'd like to refer back to item 7A1 and 2. 7A1, request an exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code, Section 262024A4, professional service, for the provision of legal services representation in connection with litigation. If I could have a motion to that effect.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
7A2 is requesting engagement with the firm of Atlas Hall and Rodriguez for the provision of legal services representation in connection with litigation and authority to submit a letter of engagement, specifically item 20, under open session, item 20D, Jose Rocha versus Hidalgo County.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
20E, claim of Ida. Judge, could you help me there? Ida
Moreira.
Moreira.
Moreira. If I could have settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $2,048.13.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 20F, claim of Erasmo Ruiz Jr. Judge Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $91.26.
Move for approval.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 20G, claim of Luis Garza. Judge Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $156.96.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item 20H, claim of Efrain Martinez. I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $646.06.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Judge Commissioners, there is no action to be taken unless there's action to be brought up again by the court.
Move to adjourn.
Need a second? Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.